Can y'all tell it's cold? I think it's 47, 48 degrees right now. Colder when we got up. Today we're doing a training run of 13 miles. We're here at the, I call it the park loop. One of these days we gotta come up with a better name for it, right? Should go on the Strava and try to give it the segment as a park loop. Anyway, we finished our half marathon training, but we wanted to compare. So I did the Garmin training plan. Stacie did the Ben Parks training plan. What did you think, Stacie?
It was really hard. I mean, it obviously worked. I did manage to get the sub 2 hour twice. Both were downhill, but I still did it. But the training plans, I don't know that there were a lot of the runs that I couldn't finish in the speeds that I was supposed to do. So I did my best, but they were just really, really hard. I did not enjoy it. I'm sure they're great plans. It didn't work great for me.
Do you think that's because Ben Parks, with those plans, he's kind of just gotta make kind of some general guesstimations, or do you think that maybe you obviously got the sub 2 hour, but maybe it was a higher goal than maybe, I mean, cutting off 10 minutes basically in a 6-week period is an aggressive goal. Do you think it's a combination? Do you think it's one or the other, or do you think it's just not for you?
I think it's a combination. It was an aggressive goal, but I felt it was attainable. I mean, it was, obviously. But then also, yeah, the fact that it's just a generic plan, not really tailored to me specifically, that could have made a difference too.
Right. So the last week I cut mine short, and I did run one of her runs with her, just because mine was kind of done. I'd already hit end because I'd switched to a marathon training plan, and it was a speed session, and it felt like it was on par with what I was doing until I did that speed session. And I don't know if it was the day or the plan. I couldn't do it either. At least the last week of the Ben Parks plan was super aggressive or super hard. My Garmin one, I was able to complete all my runs plus do the bonus. I think with the Garmin though, it kind of takes into account what pace I've put in and how I'm doing and my VO2 max. Would it have been better for Stacie to do that? Who knows? Maybe it would have just been just as hard. There's not a way to compare because she doesn't have a Garmin, but it seemed like comparing the plans, my runs started out more aggressive at the beginning of the plan. I was running more miles than she was, and it was having me run longer distances at faster paces than her originally. So I think hers ramped up to be harder at the end, but mine started more aggressive. Because I remember looking at hers and thinking, well, that's not that hard. I had to go 30 seconds faster than that on my segments, stuff like that. So they're probably equivalent. Mine obviously can take into account what my real base is, and maybe that's why it started aggressive, who knows. Either than that though, I would say, I don't know if we have a fair way to compare besides based on our would recommend or not. I would recommend the Garmin plan. I've done it twice now. It's not easy by any means, but it always seems attainable. It pushed me, but never felt like I can't complete this plan. Maybe 1 or 2 days was a little bit harder than others. I feel like I've always been able to complete a Garmin plan. So I would recommend the Garmin. Stacie, would you recommend Ben Parks?
I think I still would. If you have a specific goal. Ben Parks does have different levels. Like he has this beginner, mine was the improver, and then there's a couple, I think there's 2 more above the one that I did. The beginner ones are free, so if I were to go back and do it again, I'd probably start with a beginner one. I think my thought process was, because I wasn't a beginner at half marathon, then the improver made sense. But I think if you started at the beginner and then moved through the plans, it would probably be better.
Gotcha. So that's our review of half marathon training plans. Now we're gonna go run, and we'll talk to you more while we do that. But until then, there's a bunch of cows for you. You can see it's shady here. She's purposely over in the sun because it's cold. All right, we're about 1.4 mile in, averaging a 10:27. Not a 2 mile check-in, because I don't want to do the check-in on the uphill bit. So, doing a little early. Today's goal is 13 mile training run. I want to do 13.1 because I like the idea that I run a half marathon. Which means Stacey's gonna do that too. Right, Stacie? Yeah. So, training at a 10:30 pace, which is, well, about the same pace we were training for the half marathon as an easy pace. Cause yeah, it's supposed to be a long, easy run, right? So, which, if I can do my full marathon training at this pace, theoretically, I should smash my PR, because my marathon pace for the Utah Valley one that I did in June was a 10:45. So if I can do my full training at a 10:30, theoretically I can at least do the marathon at 10:30. I started the marathon training 2 weeks ago, I think 3 actually now. So it had me do the first week was like speed session, 3 mile, 4 mile, and the 10 mile in Phoenix that y'all saw previously if you're following the channel. If not, follow and you might see these. Hey, see what I did there? That's the first time I maybe even clever about it, and then I went and ruined it. And then second week was last week, and it had I had the race scheduled into it, so it was again like a speed session of 3 mile, 3 mile easy, 4 mile easy, and then the half marathon at race pace, obviously, so sub 2 hour. And this week it's 3 mile, 4 mile, and then just 13 mile easy. And then next week's recovery, so we'll go back down to 10 mile, and then we start getting back up into the above half marathon ranges after that. So, and once again, all the training paces, except for the speed sessions, should be between a 10:30 to 11 is my training pace, which should make me improve. And I feel it's an easy pace now, to be honest. Maybe not, but I feel it is. Should make me improve. Also in comparison, I guess, my last marathon, I trained at like a 12-minute pace. So I'm training at my slowest, at least a minute faster per mile than what my fastest was supposed to be. Because I was supposed to be a 12 to 13 minute on the first plan. So, hopefully I can keep it up without, you know, injury or whatnot. And should see some improvement. So that's where we're at. I guess there's been hints throughout, so we'll just get to it. Stacie's doing this as well because she signed up for the marathon. So she's gonna run her first marathon in 10 years. She's ran one previously, although from what she tells me, this was before we were together. She did a lot of walking. She doesn't remember her original time, but she thinks it's under 6 hours. No, over. Oh, over 6 hours. So
she's gonna be training at my pace with me because we're using the same training plan, which obviously means she'll improve, but also means she's gonna smash my PR as well. So maybe a little annoyed she's gonna kick my butt on her first real marathon, but hey, that's the way it goes.
We don't know that yet.
Yeah, we don't know that yet. Marathon's in December, so it is a shorter training block, but we'll talk more in a bit because we're gonna go up the hill now. Alright, the mile was a 10:28, that's mile 5. Overall averaging a 10:31. 52 miles in, 52 miles, 52 minutes in. So back to the marathon Stacey's gonna do with this. We were talking about the plan. How did we come up with the plan, or what plan are we using? For those wondering, I went back to ChatGPT. I told it, we already run half marathons on the regular. So basically start us out as at the where we're capable of a half marathon because the training block was shorter. And then I kind of told it the pace we run our half marathons at and the pace we've been training at. I didn't give it a goal pace for the marathon at all, but I did give it a date. And then it put together a plan, and it took a couple iterations. I had to tweak a couple things here or there. And then I basically copied that and sent it to Stacie, my secretary, my assistant, my whatever you want to call him, because she does everything for this channel, let's be honest. And she put it into our notepad on her phone. She even had a little check marks for me so I can cross them off. And so we kind of just check it off per week or per run. It gave us kind of a, we didn't tell it to set the days, like what days to do the run, because our schedule changes here and there a little bit, you know. Ideally, Saturday's always the long run, but maybe not always. And then like through the week, we have obligations as parents, as employees, to where we can't always run the same day. So we get told to leave that out. So that's kind of how we came up with it again. Anyway, we'll check in next time we aid stop. Next time we aid station. Alright, 9.7 miles in, almost a double digits. Hour 42, 10:31 overall average. So, sticking close to that 10:30 pace. Stacey's starting to struggle. One thing I love and one thing I hate about training here at my, what I call the park loop, is it's slightly uphill, slightly downhill, where most of the races we do, especially in Utah, are all downhill. So the training is harder than the half marathon. So while we might be able to do a downhill half marathon in a sub 2 hour, running this guy in 13 miles, that's a much more challenging thing. Like, I don't know if I could do it myself yet, to be honest. So Stacey's still going strong, but she's a little more tired, so I don't think she's in the mood to talk. So a little bit more on, I guess, the training plans. If you guys are not great at prompting, message me or whatever in the comments. I can try to give you a few tips or show what we use to prompt. I think I have it saved. And try that out. I guess the only other real news as we try to finish this up is I bought new shoes. Not wearing them yet. Still wearing my old Ultra. I don't remember what these are.
Lauren.
Torrens, thank you, Stacie. Torrens. I went to the shoe store yesterday and I purposely went to not buy Ultras and ended up with 2 pairs of Ultras. I'm just so used to that 0 drop. I think I can live without the wide toed box, but I'm so used to that 0 drop that it's hard to switch to something else. And plus they gave me a discount on 1 pair. Good morning. Since they're the floor model, that's why they gave me 20% off. You know me, I'm a sucker for a deal. And then I bit the bullet. I've had a few people, more than one, tell me you should try trail running. And when we went on the Lone Peak hike, I thought, oh, I could probably run down this, but my shoes were so slippery because I had no real tread, no spikes, whatever. I bought a pair of trail shoes too. And then Stacie managed to find a local trail running group. So we might try to, when we have time and depending on distance, might try to participate in 1 or 2 of those eventually. Probably not soon, but eventually. So there's shoe update, shoe talk. With that, I'm gonna shoot some B-reel and then we'll wrap up. Having second thoughts. This hill. Anyways, I made stationing.
Oh, okay. The reason he's saying he's having second thoughts and it's harder without me is because I'm done. Did 13.1. Mildly annoying because my watch died partway. I really like my Apple Watch for most things, but for distance running, it doesn't last if I have my music going. I have to basically disconnect the Bluetooth from the watch so it only is tracking the race, and even then it's usually, or the run, and even then it's usually close. So I am planning to get just a cheap fitness watch that can track my long runs. Everything else I'll use the Apple Watch for, even the short runs I will. But when I start getting up to double digits, the Apple Watch just isn't cutting it. But the time when I finished with the half marathon distance, 13.1, was 2:18:33, and Tyson's still going because he has a goal of running 1,200 miles this year, which means he needs to average 100 miles a month or 25 a week roughly, and he's a little behind where he wants to be, so that's why he left me. I give him a hard time and tell him he's trying to show me out, but really he's just got a goal and he's going for it, so I fully support that. But that's not my goal, so he can have fun. Yeah. Anyway, he'll probably do an update of his own. I'm just walking to not stiffen up right away, walking a lap, enjoying the semi-coolness. Oh, I don't know why I tried to check my phone for the temperature, or my watch for the temperature. It's dead. I could check my phone, but that's fine. I'm too lazy to do that right now. Anyway.
14.5.
You can do it.
Let's see. Yeah, last 2 laps are really hard. I did a total of 16:29 in 2 hours 51 minutes, I think.
Yeah, 2 hours, 51 minutes, 17 seconds. It's 10:31 average. That's a long run done and dusted with a little bit of bonus miles. I'm hot, sun's glaring on me. I forgot sunblock, so I'm gonna wrap this up fast. Stay safe, keep pushing. Catch y'all next time.